Winston got to look back at the film, what were Winston's corrections for the D line?
For the past game,
Yeah.
yeah. Corrections was mainly just execution, technique stuff. For us as D line and any D lineman generally, when you have a good coach, especially a coach like Coach Winston, we mainly correct, of course, our assignments and the technique that we probably messed up on, so that we can be more efficient come next game, and then come to practice working on the things that we need to work on, and then stuff like pass rush, because we put a big emphasis on pass rush this year and every year for the matter, but we put a big emphasis on that, making sure that we continue to focus on the moves that we as individuals can work and just as a unit in general. So,
Can you walk us through the pass rush move you used on your sack?
yeah. The pass rush move that I used on my sack, um, I don't know the specific scenario in general. I just knew that the guy in front of me, um, I'm going to be reacting off of what he gets me. So, I mean, gave me a set and I took what he gave me. So that's all I really did. Just played the cards that were given to me.
Jalen, on your sack in the third quarter, you did a nice little swim move to
Mm,
get to the quarterback.
right.
Was that just instinctive, or had you seen something?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like I said, I mean, just what they gave me. Saw the guy gave me a little overset. So I saw the gap pretty much open. So I took what they gave me so that I can give my team the best possible chance to win. Because, I mean, coach talks about all the time, I mean, more games are lost, not won. And I want to give my team the best chance to win. So,
Were your linemen feeding off each other a little bit there where you had that stretch where you got that pressure?
yeah. We talked about it on the sideline. We were like, yeah. Uh, we compete with each other. And we compete with the teammates on the other sideline, but it's us versus us at the end of the day. So we focused on the sideline as a D-line unit. We were, of course, we're focused on the game because we do want to win the game. And like I said, more games are lost, not won, but we do want to have fun while we're playing the game because this is football at the end of the day. So, yeah, we were feeding off each other because being around your own teammates, I mean, knowing what you go through day in, day out from fall camp throughout all the way to January. I mean, you think about those moments that you were with your teammates and your unit. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, that I'm talking about that because that initially builds the bond and then that makes you closer. So, I mean, when we're on the field, you just feel the connectivity when we were going through that series of sacks. I mean, you can see the celebrations on the video where I'm near Ja or where I'm near Strig because I know the process that it takes to get to where you need to go in order to get those sacks.
You talked in the offseason about 5 versus 3, and when you moved into 3 at times last year, you didn't realize that maybe the offensive linemen were quicker to get to you. Now, in your first game in 2023, you played some 5, you played some 3. Did you think that you handled it a little bit better when you did have to slide inside?
Yeah, I did what was necessary for the team because I realized that I must be a team player and be the team leader in order for us to go forward and win games. I mean, that's everybody on the team in general because in order for us to win games, you have to be selfless, and that's for any team that wants to be a championship caliber team. I mean, you have to be selfless and acknowledge your role, embrace your role. So for me, moving in 3, also playing 5, I mean, I had to be that flexible in order for my teammates to be at their best and for my coaches to be at their best. So I'm being a team player.
Jalen, your name was brought up as someone that had a pretty big training camp. What do you feel like was looking for you in August?
We had another media thing in the past, and I said confidence. And I'm still riding on that. Being more confident and trusting the process and trusting the reps that I've been given and trusting in the belief that people give in me, because having people believe in me it means the world to me. I never take that for granted. So confidence at the end of the day, that's what was really clicking for me in order to say I mess up a play. I mean, I know my coaches are confident in me in order to make up for it or correct that play. And more times than not, I will correct that play.
The last time you played a Mid-America Conference team was 2 years ago against Bowling Green. You did a Trials where you won. Do you take that as motivation? You're playing a MAC team this week.
Yeah. I mean, it's the next team at the end of the day. I mean, it's college football at the end of the day. Whoever your next opponent is, I mean, you still got to line up in the field or the stadium that you're playing, and you still got to play them. And whatever happens, happens because you put together the practices that you put together for the week, and then you go there on Saturday or whatever day you play, and you get the result that you end up putting together. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to play Eastern Michigan. Of course, reflecting on the past to create our future as we continue to talk about it. We know what happened in the past, and I feel like we're continuing to build into Eastern Michigan in order to become the team that we want to be for the now and for the future.
Yeah, when you study Eastern Michigan, what stands out to you? What do you notice really that kind of jumps out for you when you study?
Things that jump out to me, I mean, they're a great team. I mean, we talked about it as a defensive unit and just as a team in general. Eastern Michigan, if we don't come ready, I mean, we're going to be having a tough fight ahead of us because they are a great MAC team. So, and like I just said, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the labels say or what anybody else says. It's about the team that's in front of you, and at the end of the day, you got to play that team head on, straight. Whatever they bring forward, you still got to react to it and play to it. So, I mean, whatever we've seen on film from the past game or from last year, I mean, we're just expecting whatever's on the film. So, yeah.
Got time for one or two more for Jalen?
The NCAA changed clock rules where it doesn't stop on a made first down. Did you notice that during the game? Did it affect anything at all out there?
For me personally, a smarter player is a better player, and a smarter team is a better team. I'm sure a lot of our players were affected by that. Me personally, I wasn't paying too much attention to it, but I know our coaches and the teammates around me are very smart people. So if it does affect me, they will let me know and be like, all right, hey, we got to react to this way or redo this way. So, I mean, I'm sure it affects us in some way, but if not, then cool. We're going to continue to play the game of football that they've taught us.
Anything else for Jalen? All right. Thanks, Jalen.
Cool. Thank you.
Watch back the film. What stood out in the second viewing?
Yeah, for me, personally, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I think I could have played a lot better. Super proud of the guys and how we responded throughout the course of the game, but I know I have to be better and I have to play better, and I'm looking forward to growing and learning. So,
One of the biggest things that,
Bad taste.
what do you say?
I'm sorry. Where did you feel like those things were that left you bad?
Yeah, I think I was a little inaccurate. I just have to be better fundamentally. My pocket presence I don't think was as good as I wanted it to be. I think I scrambled a lot more than I needed to. I have to just trust our protection and our rules. Once again, super proud of the guys up front and our wideouts, of course. I just have to be better overall in terms of accuracy, pocket presence, and just trusting our game plan.
can you walk us through your perspective on that 4th and 10 throw to Daniel?
Yeah, I think big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and I've said this a lot. I trust Daniel Jackson, and the ball's going to be in his hands when the game counts or when the game's on the line. And our coaches obviously know the same thing. They say the same thing. And, yeah, man, the ball was going to him. That's just, what I thought. I definitely could have placed a better ball. I thought I overthrew him a little bit, but I mean, that kid's a player, and he's going to make up for my mistakes. So I'm thankful for him. And I know now that I got to place a better ball, and it'll be better next time. So, once again, thankful for him.
Athan, I noticed on a lot of your completions, you checked off on one receiver and threw to the other one. Was that by design, or were you kind of taking what the defense was giving you?
Yeah, just taking what the defense was giving me. Seeing what I saw on film previously to that game, kind of anticipating what they were going to do, and then, following my progression. So, yeah.
What stands out to you about Eastern Michigan on tape?
Yeah, they're very disciplined. They win very big games. Respect to their coaching staff. They got good players, and they got really good players all around the field. Their corners and their safeties make plays. They went 9-4. They won their bowl game. this is not a team to take lightly at all. We're coming in, and we know they're coming in to play, and we got to come out and play too. So, ton of respect for them, and I'm excited to play them.
What does Crooms provide this offense?
Explosive plays, speed, confidence, happiness. He's just a really good guy, really outgoing guy. Yeah, he's a very good player. Happy that he's here, and just really, really happy for him and the progress he's made since the spring. So
The NCAA this year changed the clock rules where it doesn't stop after a made first down until the last 2 minutes each half. How did that affect you from your perspective? Did it change the game at all?
yeah, the game definitely went by a little faster, but we also know that we have to take more advantage of our time possession. So driving down the field and then not following through within scoring. We love our field goal kickers, but we'd rather score points touchdown wise. We just have to take more advantage of the opportunity. When we go downfield, we got to finish. We talk about finishing strong all the time, and that has a lot to do with me that I fell short, and I've taken that very seriously, and just making sure that won't happen again.
How do you reconcile? It sounds like you feel like you want to play better, but also coming off of a win to be satisfied but not satisfied. How do you handle those emotions?
Yeah, I'm never satisfied, even with a win, because I know that there was mistakes that I made throughout the game. I always look forward to making mistakes because I know that's opportunity for me to grow, and I know that I could play much better. No matter what the game is, no matter how I play, no matter how much we win by, I know that, I have to get better in certain areas, and I look forward to that. I look forward to getting better. I'm happy with the mistakes I made against Nebraska, so now I know not to do those again. It's helped me a lot this week. I think I'm working on things that, I'm not really comfortable with, but I need to get better at those things. So I'm just very blessed and thankful to have such a good coaching staff to, point those out, have players that surround me and are just willing to be there with me. So, yeah.
Were you able to take some joy when the ball went through the uprights at the end?
Yeah, I was. I was happy for the team, because that was, I talked about it that week that it was going to be a dogfight. And those guys came out to play, and, I'm so I came and, I'm just so proud. I don't really got a lot of words for it. Dragan, deserved that moment. He's worked really hard. Daniel Jackson's worked very hard. I mean, those guys deserve, all the attention they get. I'm just super proud of them. So.
How does Harbaugh's experience as a quarterback come out in your guys' relationship?
He knows what the quarterback's going through mentally, and knows that, what they're thinking in certain situations. So just having his perspective on some of those things is really helpful. I think that I'm just blessed to be in the position I'm in with a guy like him. He knows a lot about the game. He's very smart. He's very intelligent. And his game preparation is like no other. It's second to none. So I'm really happy to have him on my side, that's for sure.
Some of your best throws the other night came though when you were on the run,
Mm-hmm.
but you had mentioned earlier that you also want to stay in the pocket. So how do you manage that? To maybe one of your strengths is being able to throw on the run.
Yeah, it's just knowing when I need to and when I don't need to. I think I forced a couple of those throws. I mean, they were good throws, but I didn't need to move. They were throws that were good throws, but they could have turned into explosives if I stayed in the pocket because the ball would have came out a little quicker. So just learning from that, some good throws come on the run, but better throws come when you stay in the pocket. So, and then it turns into explosive plays from guys in a wild position. I didn't really give them a lot of time. Some of those throws I threw on the run, guys were forced to go out of bounds. If I had just stayed in the pocket, moved up in the pocket, stepped up, those guys could have been able to caught it, turn and run, and made bigger plays. So, yeah.
If the running game's going to be more efficient on Saturday, what needs to happen?
I think I have to be better as, a quarterback. Just everyone just doing their job, all 11 guys doing their job. I think that'll help the running game for sure. But, our running backs know what to do. I don't necessarily think that the running game needs to improve. I think that the game called for us to throw more, and that's what happened. If the game calls for us Saturday to run more, then we're going to run more. If it would have called for us to run more against Nebraska, we would have ran more. But It's whatever the game calls for. It's what the coaches need. It's what Eastern Michigan throws at us. So we're just ready to do whatever it takes to win.
Anything else for Athan? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Can you walk us through your decision to transfer and how you ended up in Minnesota?
Yeah, it wasn't very hard for me. You know, I had relationships over here with Coach Harbaugh, and then on my official visit, it just felt like home automatically. Like just getting around PJ Fleck and Coach Simon, and then getting around the guys like Daniel Jackson. He was my mentor, so just being around guys like that, it made it real easy.
What about your game makes you so prolific on the slot?
I just say like I'm very explosive, you know, like, and just having a great coach like Coach Simon just to bring more out of me and just really hone on my skill set and just get into my head like, okay, you're very explosive, you can create separations or just things like that, and just trying to work on other things as well. But I feel like my explosion is my biggest point in my game.
You
Or
faced
you and
Eastern
Athan
Michigan.
were in sync right away at the start of the game. Is that stuff that carried over from practice, or were there some things you saw in the defense you could exploit?
Yeah, it was like just from things from practice. Like Athan, he does a real good job in like just leading the receiving room, and just like just on and off the field, like in terms of like in the classroom. So we just seeing things in their defense that we can just exploit and just take over, and then it just led into the game, and we just found the connection.
You faced Eastern Michigan while you're at Western Michigan. What can we expect to see out of them?
Yeah, one thing about Eastern, they're going to play you hard. No matter the logo, no matter who they're playing, they're always going to play you hard. They're a tough opponent. Great coaching staff over there. I know them. I've been playing them for years. And they got hard players too, so they're going to come out with their best game.
Where you feel like points were maybe left out on the field in the game against Nebraska? You guys moved the ball decently, but just missed field goal, there's an interception. How much further do you think this offense can go if you're mistake-free on Saturday?
Yeah, it was the first game, so you know a lot of jitters were out there. But one thing Coach told us was just to hone on to our details and just play the next play. That's what we were trying to do. You know, we know we left a lot out there, but as a team, we all know we got to be better, and that's what we're gonna do this Saturday.
From a wide receiver standpoint, what did you take away from the game? Catch at the end.
Man, that was crazy. It was just like he came back to the sideline, and I just told him like that's what you do. Like it's that's what you do. You've been preparing for it. Like, and I wasn't surprised. I seen the preparation like from January since I got here, and I seen what he'd been doing. So it was just details, focus, and he just made a great catch.
Gordon makes it was only one game, but what do you think the team learned about itself after that game, especially being down 7 late, finding a way to make a big play when you need to? What do you think the team learned about itself?
Yeah, just lean on each other, and like all on the sideline. All you hear a guy like Tyler Newman is, we got this. Tyler Newman saying, I'm gonna go get a pick. So just a guy like that, just lifting each other up, and like just coming back to the sideline, just saying like, we're not worried about what they're doing. It's all about what we're doing as a team, and we just focused on us, and we just went out there, executed for the last few minutes, and just took over.
When Tyler calls his shot like that, saying, I'm going to get a pick, and goes out and actually does it,
Mhm.
like, what does that do to the sideline?
Yeah, I mean, it brings a lot of energy, because like a guy like that saying things like that, I mean, you obviously what type of player he is. So like when he does things like that, it just, oh yeah, we got super faith. We got a lot of trust in this guy. So now we just got to go out and do our part, execute.
You mentioned that Daniel was kind of a mentor when you came in. I think you're older than him, though.
Yeah.
How was that relationship? And then he mentioned that the favorite part of the catch was you were the first guy there to congratulate him. How have you guys developed this relationship in such a quick time?
Yeah, it was him. Really, all of the receivers. Like when I got here in January, all of the receivers like just really took me in. But it was him and Chris Almond-Bellcrab. They was like the main two guys. Like I was just sticking around and just trying to take pieces from their game. You know, this is obviously my first time in the Big Ten, and just being around it like every single week in and week out. So I was just trying to take little pieces from their game and try to implement it into my game as well, and just vice versa. I was just giving them little things. So yeah, I know I'm older than him, but like he's a great player, and I just took a lot from him.
Had you been to Minnesota before you transferred here? And what's your impressions of the state overall?
Yeah, I haven't been to Minnesota, but this is my first time since January. But overall, like it's been real good. Like they say it get cold here, but I played in the cold, so. But it's been real good overall. The people, great people, and just great everything, great atmosphere.
How much of your decision to transfer was to do it at a higher level?
I'm sorry.
How much of your decision to transfer was to do it at a higher level in Big Ten?
It played a big role. Like I always wanted to play Division I, but like I never really looked at like the Big Ten and like at schools like SEC and things like that. I just wanted to get to the Division I level.
Anything else for Corey? Can you, with your experience in the MAC, you know what it's like if a MAC team's coming into a Big Ten place, right? Can you offer some insight to that to some of your teammates to say, hey, this is a game you got to be ready for?
Yeah, playing in the MAC my whole time has just been like, you come into these games and you think like, oh, you're the underdog automatically. Like you're always being counted out, so you're gonna have a chip on your shoulder. But you're gonna come in thinking like, oh, we know we can get this done. So, I mean, like I said, Easton's a tough team. They got great coaches over there, great players. So they're gonna come in with their 100% effort. So we got to come in, just execute, and just get better from game one.
All set with Corey? All right, thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Okay, how do you assess how the defense played on Thursday?
We had a lot of good, some bad, some in between. I think one of the biggest takeaways is just consistency, having more consistent. We had ups and downs where you saw that maybe Nebraska started to pick up a little bit, some plays here and there, and then you'd see us come back, just putting more consistent plays on there, following our game plan more thoroughly.
In that sequence when you guys had the 3 sacks in a row in the third quarter, did you exploit some things, or was it kind of, hey, we need to get going, we need to get this thing rocking?
It was more like it kind of comes back to the consistency thing. Like we had the ability to do that, all game, or at least that's what we felt, and it finally showed up in that drive where we had those 3 sacks. But it just builds into, if we can do it, 3 times in however many plays it was, then it should definitely show up in the rest of the game. So it was definitely good to have that, but we'd love to see it show up a little more often than that.
And on your sack, it looked like you checked the runner coming out of the backfield. Did you have any cover responsibility, or was that?
It was more just a transition rush. So going from play action into transition into your pass rush. So it was disengaging off the block and then just getting after the quarterback.
What are the biggest things that Winston's having you guys work on from game 1 to game 2?
Getting into harping on it now, consistency. Like we've talked about it so much, executing our game plan the way it needs to be executed. And in week 1, obviously you're going to have times where you got guys that are getting into new roles, and it's a new defense. You're finally playing together again against a real opponent. So really just playing confidently, knowing what we're able to do. And he believes in every single guy that goes out on the field, and even the guys that maybe don't get any snaps, he still has all the belief in the world in him. So going out there playing confidently, he knows what we're all able to do, and he just wants to see it on the field. So it's really just harping in on those skills that we work every day in practice that need to show up on the field.
What did you see from, I guess it was all 3 linebackers that really not played much in Big Ten play? What did you see from somebody that stepped in the first time?
It was really good, to have those guys behind. I mean, obviously we've played with those guys behind us for the past, the 9 months or however long it's been since this defense has been together. But to go out there on that stage and have them play the way they did was super nice for us, knowing that we have the depth that we have at linebacker. Because, if that ball squeaks through, gets past our first line of defensive line, it's good knowing that you got those guys that are able to run behind you and clean up what you weren't able to do. But it was good to see those guys that haven't had a lot of snaps here or haven't had a lot of snaps at all be able to go out there and step up to the challenge, step up to the plate, and really do a good job.
The new clock rules with the NCAA and not stopping it after timeout or after first downs, did that impact you at all in defense? Was it something to get used to?
I would say I didn't really, as we were playing, I didn't notice it. It was, you look up and there's, 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Oh, then you noticed it. But I would say as we played, it wasn't necessarily a thought. It was just kind of the game moves a little faster. The play after play and just, you know, kind of, I wouldn't say it takes you out of a rhythm, but it's just it's a little different, but you don't really notice it while you're out there. It's kind of an afterthought, like, oh, that was a quick first half, or that was a quick game.
How important is stopping the run going to be against Eastern Michigan?
Very important, and it's not just, you know, just for Eastern Michigan. It's for every team on our schedule, and it's one of the cornerstones of our defense is stop the run. And you know, I would say that everyone on our defense would say we didn't do a good enough job of that last week, and it's not a secret. So it's going to be big going into this week to be able to stop that run, and then, you know, like I said, it's a cornerstone of our defense. It's one of the main things that we're built on. So just going out there and doing our job, and that's the biggest thing, doing our job with elite detail, and that'll lead us to stopping the run.
Anything else for Danny? All right, thanks, Danny.
Thank you, guys.
Thank